We have a card show break-in, and now what to do about Tom Brady cards. Will there be a dip? We're diving in now. All right, Sports Collectors Daily reported BT Collectibles, an Atlanta area card shop, was a part of a smash and grab. Unfortunately, more than $100,000 worth of inventory were taken, about $119,000 according to the store owner. A lot of expensive Pokemon and basketball cards were taken. And this is the type of stuff that you really hate to hear about. A lot of people say like, hey, look, there's break-ins for all different types of businesses. But this business is kind of unique in the sense that you have very valuable items. I guess it'd be similar to like a jewelry store, luxury watches or purses or something like that. Sports cards have really come to be kind of similar in that sense, where if we were going back 5 years, 10 years, most shops probably didn't have 100,000, 200,000 or more of inventory. Could be a handful of cards, could be 100, could be 1,000 cards that quickly, just vanish. What I kind of wondered about when I was reading the story too is, does PSA or SGC or the grading companies have a way to set in their system that there has been some sort of a police report or these are stolen cards in their directory? So when you go to do a cert lookup, a lot of times it'll say, I know PSA has this cert has been disqualified or something, or it's been shut down because it's a fake or a counterfeit or something like that. But is there the opportunity for them to put in their system, assuming the dealer, the collector has the cert numbers for cards that were stolen? Hey, this is part of an investigation or something. I'm not sure the best way to do this, because also I think that you would have to have some sort of police report attached to this, because you could have anybody just saying like, oh, these cards were stolen and maybe they lost it or whatever. That could be just the person, the collector's issue as to how that card is missing. But if there is a police report, there's something behind it, that would be at least be helpful if the, thieves go to resell it, whether it be on an auction house or through a Facebook marketplace or some sort of, underground market, type thing, because that's probably going to happen at some point. They're taking it probably not to hold long term as collectors. They're taking it so that they can move it. For me personally, I use CIS insurance for my collectibles, not an affiliate or anything or a plug for them, but I've had a good experience so far, and I think that the pricing is reasonable, and it's just a resource. You can Google CIS collectible insurance and it should pop up, and there's a variety of different options. But I've heard people, say like, I'm covered because of my homeowner's insurance. I wouldn't count on that. I would definitely do a deeper dive, especially if you have a significant amount of collectibles. I also put things in various places. Not just my house, but different locations. And then also I've got a safety deposit box as well that I use. So it's not all in one place. Spread it around. I've also seen Rudy at Alpha Investments does a similar thing, but he has tens of millions of dollars, maybe fives of millions, but fives to tens of millions of dollars of sealed product of Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, etc. And he says there, I've got various warehouses, different locations for stuff. The other thing that the dealer said that actually also made a ton of sense too is a lot of these items just really are not replaceable. And what does he mean by that? Well, if you have high grade vintage, or you have one of ones of certain cards, or just low numbered cards, just rare stuff, stuff that you just don't find every day. We all have these cards, whether you're talking about, non-sports cards, sports cards, all different types of stuff, comic books, where it's just rare, and so you're not going to get an opportunity to buy it again. And that's the thing that really sucks, is there's certain collectibles that I have that I've been looking for a year, maybe a couple of years, and then it pops up at a price point that is decent. And there's other collectors / investors that have similar stories. And once those things are gone, it's like, you might not ever get an opportunity again, or it's just, are you willing to wait and hunt and go through that whole process again of buying that card? It's just a lot emotionally, financially. So this stuff really sucks. I hope that they get it sorted out where they can find these cards. With more and more of these sorts of break-ins happening, just head on a swivel, guys. Hey, buddy. If you see something weird, report it, and then hopefully the stuff gets recovered. Before I dive into Tom Brady and his cards, thank you to today's video sponsor, COMC.com, your home for buying, selling, and flipping all the hottest trading cards. Their consignment marketplace, home to now more than 30 million cards, from baseball superstars like Aaron Judge to Marvel favorites like Spider-Man. COMC has something for every type of collector. Visit COMC.com today to build out your collection with your favorite cards. Guys, as I always say, it is Disneyland for card collectors. Definitely check them out. All right, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers got absolutely walloped by the Dallas Cowboys last night. And you've heard a lot of kind of reaction sort of things that have come out of this game. Tom Brady threw an interception in the end zone. Has he lost a step? Is he going to stay with Tampa? Is he going to retire? My feelings are that he is absolutely not retiring whatsoever. And I think that he's going to move on to another team. There was talk before this past season that him and Sean Payton were trying to get down into Miami to play together with the Dolphins. The Dolphins got hit with tampering stuff and they lost a draft pick or two. And so, which means that there was something behind that story. When I look at who Sean Payton is kind of interviewing with or teams that have shown interest, I'm showing Arizona, the Texans, Denver, and then now that the Chargers really kind of blew a 27-point lead, or was it 24 or 27? Anyway, the Jags pulled out a win that really shouldn't have happened. Now Staley is kind of under fire. Sean Payton would be an absolute dynamite in LA with the Chargers with Herbert and that team. It's already a great team. Sean Payton would not have blown a 27-point lead. In the 15 years I watched him coaching the Saints, that never happened. So nothing against Staley. Obviously the players have to play, but coaching plays a huge part. And if you already have a good team, a lot of times an elite head coach is really kind of the difference between championships or no championships. And him working with Herbert would be amazing. Herbert's such a great talent. With Sean Payton, that's a dream. I also would kind of like for him to not be in the NFC. I don't want to face him. I would like for him to be with an AFC team. That way I can cheer for him in the other conference. Oh, the other team I didn't mention, Carolina, has now come as a potential suitor. If Carolina wants Sean Payton, I really hope the Saints put in an added premium to get him there. Now, with Tom Brady, I think he would want to play for Sean Payton. I think that's definitely a fit. But when I look at kind of the teams there, Carolina, I suppose, would make sense, but they're kind of in a rebuild mode. Adding Sean Payton and Tom Brady would be a big deal. But if I look at, Arizona is tied up with Kyler Murray. They did that stupid $5 billion contract with him. That's all guaranteed. It's just dumb. Kyler Murray is just such a diva. That was a huge mistake. I don't think that Sean Payton takes that job. I just think he's going to wait for a better option. The Texans in full rebuild mode, but they do have draft picks. They've got some pieces. They almost beat good teams. The record doesn't really show it, but you never know. There's a lot of parity in the NFL. Teams can go from worst to first. That's just how it goes. Denver is locked up with Russell Wilson, so Tom Brady's not going to go to Denver. And Sean Payton, maybe he tries to turn around Russ Wilson. I don't know. And then you've got the Chargers that we had talked about. So, you look at the different destinations for Tom Brady, where could he go where there's already a good team? My New Orleans Saints, they finished 7-10, kind of underwhelming. But if you add Tom Brady to our team, we're probably better than 7-10. And some would say, well, then you're basically the Bucks, and then you're 9-8 or 8-9 or whatever. Maybe, but, I think that could be an option. Is Tom Brady going to want to play with Dennis Allen? I just don't know that. But again, a lot of teams already have QBs in place. So which team is going to move out of their QB? Maybe the Colts? I guess, there's certainly teams out there. He's going to have interest. He's going to have interest just from the sole purpose of selling jerseys. Keep in mind that the owners, they want to make money, and anyone that can bring in a Tom Brady, I think still has the number one selling jersey and apparel and different things. So just for the sake of bringing in the GOAT, to be able to say, hey, we got the GOAT on our team. It's like Montana bringing in the Chiefs, at the end of his career, and Tom can still make the throws. People are saying that he's taking a step back. The offensive line got beat up and really was demolished in Tampa. And if Tom Brady's got time, he's going to make it happen. He just didn't have time this year. And for a lot of quarterbacks, that's the case. But especially Tom Brady, he can read the whole field. He has all the intangibles. He just needs blocking is really what it boils down to. And it just didn't happen. Dallas overwhelmed a beat up offensive line. And that was really the story of the game. Dak Prescott played a good game, but really Tampa was on their heels the whole night. It was a 3-and-out. They couldn't get anything going. They were really relying on Mike Evans with a deep ball. That's how they had been winning, is kind of these big splash plays. And Tom just did not have time for those routes to open up. Evans would go downfield, and then Micah Parsons in his face. Just wasn't going to happen. So this is going to be really interesting. As far as cards go, will there be a big card dip over the next 6 months? I'm just curious to see One, will there be a card dip just based on, performance wasn't great this year. Tom Brady was a little bit underwhelming. Not terrible, but a little bit underwhelming. His team wasn't very good. And then where's he going to go? Is he going to retire? But then also the macroeconomic stuff that we always talk about. People just aren't spending huge money on cards. Will they continue to buy big Tom Brady cards? Maybe they will, or maybe they won't. So I think that the price decrease is going to come on certain cards for him. I'm sure the Contenders Championship Auto Rookie is still going to be a very expensive card. But for a lot of the stuff that I collect, as well as other people, this could be an opportunity over the next 6 months. Now, it could also be very well that he goes and signs with a team. Maybe there's a lot of excitement around that particular acquisition, and then he gets a little bit of a bump back because there's excitement around him being with a new team that makes them a contender, or maybe they're already a contender, and now this could put them over the edge. And so there's some hype built around that. I've always said, to me, this is kind of like the end of the Michael Jordan years when he was with the Wizards. If you were probably buying a lot of the rare Michael Jordan cards when he was with the Wizards, or kind of ending out his career, I'm sure those cards were a pretty nice deal at that point. He wasn't on top of the world, and he was finishing out looking like a human. And Tom Brady is starting to get to that point too. He's on the last leg. He's got another maybe a couple of years left, and then he's gonna most likely be done. His legacy is cemented, whether he wins another Super Bowl or not. Every year he keeps playing. He's adding to his yardage records. He's adding to his TD records. And I do think that it's going to be 10, 15, 20, 25 years down the road when there's still not another Tom Brady. And that's when he's going to kind of, probably get his due as far as the ultimate respect. And I say this, I do own quite a few Tom Brady cards. I don't have any amazing, I don't own an autograph card. I don't own any of the real high-end rookie cards. But I just like Tom Brady stuff, along with a lot of other people. So Drew Brees is my New Orleans Saints PC guy, and Tom Brady is just the guy. He's the football GOAT. I don't think that changes anytime soon, if ever. As good as Mahomes and some of these guys are coming up, I just don't see it changing. So we'll see what happens, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.